Hey guys, I have another video for you. I have gotten into cross stitch. And here's the thing about that. I never thought cross stitch would appeal to me because I hadn't seen the really fine cross stitch, the one with the high count linen, the really tiny things that to me are just classic. I had seen really large Adas, really large like plasticky kind of things that reminded me of like grandma, but I just didn't find those appealing to me. And there's a whole spectrum of cross stitch I have found out. There are many different kinds, and the one that really pulled me in is Susan Ake, and she's on Instagram. She's a prolific quilter, cross stitcher. She has many books for Martingale, but she designs patterns for Aurifil, and she shows them, and they're so beautiful. I loved them. In particular, she shows some Christmas ones, and we all know how I feel about Christmas. Love it. So that's kind of what pulled me in. She did some spine ornaments. She did these samples for Christmas, like a sampler. And then she did summer ones. She had Valentine's. She designed some for St. Patrick's Day. Like, I love seasonal quilts, and this was perfect for me. However, I had never cross-stitched in my life. I had done a little bit of embroidery as a child, and then I learned last year how to embroider well on a detailed panel that was for a quilt that I thought should be embroidered, and so I covered the print of the panel in embroidery. But cross-stitch was a whole other thing for me, and the reason why was because I just need to know all the rules when I start something. I need to know how it's going to work, and I need to know how it's going to look, and I have all these questions, and what I needed to do was just pick it up and start. The other thing that I did that probably made it a lot harder for me, everyone said, was I wanted to start on the little stuff. I didn't want to start on the larger or the smaller count, like 14 count, 18 count. I just didn't want to do that because at the end of the day, I wanted to love the project. And I didn't think I would if they were on the larger or the smaller counts. So I was practicing, I think, on 28 count. So what I have learned thus far about cross stitch is that it's just better to start. I had picked it up, and I did the 28 count everweave. Couldn't quite get it, but then I tried again on an 18 count Ada, and I kind of got it but wasn't liking it, and I just stopped for like a year. Well, this year, with the expectation of baby number 5, I thought I'm going to have a lot of time where I want to do something, but I am too tired to quilt. I'm too tired to do something else. I need to learn cross stitch again. So I sat down a couple weeks ago, and through the encouragement of Susan Ake, she said, just start, just pick it up and just do it. And I decided to do that, and that is what worked for me. I didn't worry about how the back looked or how neat it was or how messy it was. And what I've found is that as I cross stitch more, my back is improving. It's looking better because I'm figuring out ways to move around a pattern. So kind of like what I tell people with quilting, you know, perfection comes with experience, and that's what I have had to relearn. I think for so long I've been quilting and I forgot about that learning curve. So that's where I am now. Let me go ahead and flip this around and then show you guys what I've made so far, and also how I organize my cross stitch, because it's kind of no secret that I'm a super organized person and I had to have systems in place. So I have systems in place, and it's just been wonderful because it makes it super easy to bring with me anywhere, and I've made so much progress. All right, first up are the 2 ornaments that I made from Susan Ake. So these are available on Aurifil's website for free, and they're designed by Susan Ake. The pattern is simple, but you can see how stunning it is. I thought these would be a good one to start with, first of all, because I love Christmas. Second of all, a goal is to make ornaments for my Christmas tree in the sewing studio this year. And so these were also small, and I thought I can do this. And look at that. I am so, when I completed these, I was thrilled. I was over the moon thrilled because I did it. I finally did it. And I am one to just jump all in, so I immediately got the next pattern from Susan Ake. I had ordered her kit, A Little Quaker Christmas, and ordered the Aurifil thread kit, and I wanted to start on that. Here it is. Look at it. I am so thrilled with how it has turned out so far. This is a 28 count linen, and I have found it pretty easy to stitch on, which is surprising because now that I've gotten it, I just know what I'm doing, and I have found it a lot easier to navigate on some of these tricky things, which before I had no idea how to approach them. And I love that now it has just become super easy for me to, oh, I know where that goes. Oh, I know where that goes. I know how that will look. And it's been a blast. I have worked on this probably a couple of weeks, and it'll probably go to here. This is the kit that I bought. So this is the full finished one. I have sewn this one. I'm working on this one. I finished the outline today, and I'm going to be filling it in now. This kit comes with all of the colors. There is one reason I purchased Susan's kit, because it came with the colors for the pattern. I didn't have to think about it. I thought that was important for my first one. I know most patterns come with the DMC list. I have some DMC floss from my embroidery panel that I did last year, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do. Am I going to go all in on Aurifil? Am I going to go all in on DMC? Am I going to have just a variety of both? Because I know that there are so many different hand-dyed threads, variegated threads, and specialty threads. So we shall see. This floss has been really fantastic to work with. It's been easy to carry around. I absolutely love the wooden spools. This has been a joy to have. So I talked about systems. Let me show you my whole project bag. So the first problem I noticed that I had when I was cross-stitching all over the house was how to bring it with me. And I was just gathering my hoop and the pattern, and it was getting kind of frayed and just folded, and everything was falling everywhere. So you guys told me about some project bags on Instagram. Now I know that there are a ton of tutorials for these. Erica Arndt has some really good tutorials. Fat Quarter Shop also sells lots of project bags. On Etsy there are some, but this was something I decided I just didn't want to make myself. So on Fat Quarter's website, Moda had these clear bags with just this nice black zipper. The thing that I liked about these is I'm a little weird with my studio storage and sewing storage. I like it neutral. You know, it's why I have a white desk. It's why I have white cabinets. I have a pressing station that's wood. I just like when I'm working with color and the floss and the patterns are color, I like that these are neutral. So I loved that these were clear. The other thing was that these came in a variety of sizes. This was a 10 by 13. And so I have my patterns laminated and they fit in there. So I can put the sheet in there easily. I also carry scissor tin and my seam ripper. I also wanted a scissor tin because I had been carrying some embroidery scissors. These are the ones that I had been using. These ones were a little too big for this, so I picked up some scissors from Fat Quarter Shop that were just small enough to fit in there. And then someone on Instagram told me you could put another needle minder, and then it holds your scissors, which I love because they don't rattle around. So this keeps my scissors from poking a hole in my bag or my project. And then we went to a cross-stitch store the other day in Indianapolis, and I saw this. It is a seam ripper, backwards, that folds, which I just loved that idea because so much easier to pull out stitches with the seam ripper than it is with the needle. So I have that in there as well, and I have my pattern. And then I got these hoops as well at the cross stitch store. These ones are just a little thinner than traditional ones, but they just felt really nice. And then I loved this brass detail. I'm all about the details. They match the brass scissors. I just think it looks classic and old world, so I went ahead and picked this up in 2 different sizes. So this is my project bag and how I carry it around. The reason why I chose this size, like I said, is to have the pattern, and then also for this bag here, let me go ahead and move this back. This is going to be my new purse. And I told my husband I didn't want to do a diaper bag again. I just wanted to get a nice large bag that I could use for a diaper bag, but then also my project bag. This is a pretty good size. It's 16 inches by 14 inches. It has an opportunity to be quite stuffed, but the reason why I liked it was because it had the zipper closure here, so I can put lots of stuff in there, but then I can close it. It's semi-structured, you know, it can kind of just sit down, it's not going to flop over, and then it also has the option to wear over my shoulder for when I need to be hands-free with the baby. This fits in just perfect. Let me show you. Alright, so this slides in just perfectly. You can see it fits, and then I can go ahead and just zip it up. Plenty of room left. The reason why this is coming so handy is because I can just stick it in there when we're going places, and if I have 5-10 minutes in the waiting room or when I'm waiting for the kids at the library, I can just pull it out and start stitching. In fact, when we went to Indianapolis the other day, I was able to stitch on the road when my husband drove, because it's a bit of ways, and then at the restaurant when we were waiting for our food, I was stitching when we were talking, and in the evening I was able to pull out my project bag and just take it with me. When I have doctor's appointments in the waiting room, I can bring it as well. So I found that that is the best way for me to consistently make progress. It's also a really great way to just have something to do with my hands. I'm definitely fidgety. Even when I'm watching shows, I don't just watch a television show. I have to have something to do. So cross stitch has been really, really amazing for that. But I love how it's all a system, it's all together, and it works. I have quickly gotten into cross stitch, and I had to figure out how to organize my patterns. All of my quilting patterns that I've purchased are digital, so I just keep them, and then I print it when I'm going to quilt. It's different with cross stitch because I need to have that physical pattern all the time, and I wanted it to stay nice. So what I did was go ahead and take a binder, and then I've made some divisions here. This Christmas one holds all my Christmas patterns. I have gone ahead and just laminated each and every single pattern here, and they have been fantastic. This one I just added, it's by Owl Forest. I really want to make all of these ornaments here. I think they're super amazing. Someone sent them to me on Instagram, and I thought, oh my gosh, these would be so perfect for my Christmas tree. So I have all of them, and I plan on working on those throughout the year. And then of course I have the ornaments that Susan Ake gave me as well. This I'm sure will get added to. I have more tabs, and then I did buy some Prairie Schooler ones. Those ones are behind here as well that I printed out. Well, they were already printed out at the shop where I bought them, and then I just punched holes, but this is how I'm going to keep it organized. Finally, I have designated one of my project baskets for my cross stitch. I just need to make a label for it so that I know which basket it is, but it holds all of my sample linens and notions that I'll need for cross stitch, but mostly my fabrics. I went ahead and ordered quite a few samples from 123 Stitch just so I could see what counts I preferred, all the different colors. I intend to make many of Susan Ake's ornaments and other ornaments so that I have a variety on my Christmas tree. Of course, the last thing I found out about cross stitch is that there's this whole thing called Flosstube, and I have yet to watch any. I've been recommended quite a few. I intend on finding a few good channels to go ahead and watch, check it out. I don't know if I'll be adding that here, probably, just because I like to share what I create. So it'll be a balance of everything. But I hope that you enjoyed seeing or learning about my journey and then seeing how I organize everything. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.